Ready for another Sparrow session?
Shut the fuck up.
I'm so ready. All right, so we leveled up 6 levels.
So we level up and we're going to Karai Castle for a tournament.
Yeah,
but in all
actually, Vito,
serious-
that's a good point to start. Never mind, continue. Key
So,
us in.
hello guys, welcome to another Tavern Talk. I am Vito, I was your DM. That's Adrian, that's Mel.
No,
Shut the
you're still the
fuck up.
fucking DM. You freak.
That's enough. You know what?
And
Cut
I
the
love
camera.
messing with them.
Crap.
Alright, so tonight's topic is finales and phoenixes. We're talking about the ending of Sparrows and everything that went into it, as well as talking about how we're planning to move forward in, next projects and coping methods. So to start us off, I want to ask, how did you guys view the breakdown of Sparrows? Did you see it in arcs, or did you see it in seasons, like beginning, middle, end versus season 1, season 2, season 3? Adrian, you seem like you're itching for this one, so go for it.
I think me and Vito had this conversation before of I don't think I've ever seen Sparrows in like story arcs. I've seen it more as character arcs where it's like, oh, this particular section is Jude's arc or Alcoy's arc or Rafi's arc, where like Ruby was obviously Rafi's arc for a second, and then all of a sudden, oh wait, it's actually Jude's with all this different stuff about the gods. And then Spirit Realm was Jude's as well, but then it was Alcoy's and also Rafi's at the same time. I think I see everybody's characters as having their own individual stories, just in the
Mhm.
same spot.
I agree. I see it similarly. The season thing for me didn't ever actually really the only way that existed in my brain was like splitting up in terms of like when we could play. Like it would be like winter break. Winter break of this specific year, like this like season of whatever's. Or like over the summer, whatever. But I think like to me the arcs are less divided by character, like um fucking
Development.
character development and or like specific conflicts like Alcoy and the Mend Mother and like these like specific things. But for me it was more like, what is our goal in this one specific point in time? Like for the last couple sessions, the arc obviously was like leading up to our big fight with the Cry, like basically going to war. Like that to me was like a specific arc. And then like being in Rubia, that was an arc. And then like and it wasn't necessarily determined by like whose character it was for, but more so like what we three two for the latter half of the last year. Like what are we doing? What are we working towards? So my answers are gonna get more concise. I promise.
No,
I
don't make them concise. I like to hear the depth of thought here.
warm up.
So for myself, I'm pretty similar to Mel's perspective, except I kind of separate them out a little bit more. The way I view it is, I view it in growth. So, this ability, this ability, this ability, basically, the beginning few are your growth. Right after you guys hit the first time skip after our first break, that is what I would consider the end of the first arc. Then you guys get all the way pretty much through the spirit realm, you get back, you take out Rye City. Pretty much the span between the spirit realm and New Amosa was an arc, and then taking out Rye City was part of the New Amosa arc, in my opinion. And that arc kind of ended after Karai Castle. And then the final arc was the actual finality. So it's a weird spacing because it's like weirdly spaced. It's like really, really big, small. Really, really big, small. But
Yeah.
that is my cue to Put this away. Oh, is that my cue to do that, or is it? Oh, insufficient disk space. Crap. We might have to restart this. Yeah.
No.
Sorry, boys and girls.
That's okay. It's just a warm up. You
Yeah.
know, we're warming up. We're getting there.
All right.
We're locking in.
Oh my god.
Oh, no.
Insufficient disk
Adrian,
space
you've been
again?
silent.
What are you asking me for?
Honestly, we don't really need to record if it comes down to it.
You're not wrong.
That's
I
my
mean,
opinion, though.
we do use stock
That's cool.
stock audio here, so technically Twitch won't flag it or anything, so we could direct upload. Alright, technical
Yeah, I mean-
difficulties over.
Okay.
Alright. So, moving on, I want to ask, generally, this is going to be the weird question for the night. If you could find a spot to end Sparrow satisfyingly that happened already, sooner than the finale, when would you have ended it?
Ooh.
Yikes.
Yikes.
I don't think I can pick a spot. I feel like Rafi and Jude would have just kept going. There's no way it would have ended unless they died.
Cause like, well, that's the good. Wasn't that always the good thing about Sparrows? Is that like, at any given point, it always felt like there was somewhere to keep going.
Yes.
Like we always had like we always had forward momentum. So like, I think the consequence of that means a question like this, like no matter what answer you pick, it's always gonna feel like, oh, but then we wouldn't have gotten to do that, or
Yep.
like, you know what I mean?
True. True.
So, oh dear.
Okay, let me redo a question then. What is the choice you most regret in Sparrows? Not
Fuck
not
you.
like actual choice, like character choice. Not like being like, God, I really shouldn't have done this for my character. No, like the actual character choosing to do something that you regret them doing.
Releasing Tenny. Because I know that when we did that, like in the moment, like it wasn't necessarily like a. I care more about my personal power than I do about Tenny being free, right? Like it wasn't about that. It was kind of a weird, right? Wasn't it kind of like it was like a trick, wasn't it? Or
Slightly.
well, I don't.
It's like a
It was
50-50.
like yeah.
It wasn't about personal power, it was about protecting. And he gave you the power to do that. So you indulged.
Oh right.
He gave you
Yeah, I
control.
think it felt juicy. It felt juicy in the moment, but to have ended up not not involved with Tenny in the end anyway, and then still have to deal with him. I probably would have chosen to do that differently.
Right. Adrian?
Crashing out on Jude on the boat. That was like real venom.
No, I think it made sense. I know, like, did it feel random for you?
It didn't feel random. I just felt like. Oh, here's the thing. It's a weird thing. I don't regret a single thing I ever did in Sparrows because that's how
Right.
perfect I believe the campaign was.
Yes.
Of course, we've been playing as almost self inserts. I think that's really a choice that like it was inevitable, but you can still regret it because of just how much emotion you pour into it, and you start saying things of like you start saying certain words and certain phrases that you're like, wow, if I was actually saying this face to face, I would feel like shit.
Yeah.
Like once again,
That-
juicy in the moment, but
Definitely that encounter, like, you know, in any other circumstance, because obviously, like, you know, the understanding in that specific circumstance was that like Rafi's behavior was being influenced by like an outside source, but like which I think is what makes it so juicy, because it doesn't, like, at least before Jude knew that it was because he was being influenced by something else. Before she knew, there was like a breach of trust involved, because it was like, oh, like I thought we were on the same page, but you're really upset with me for things that aren't necessarily my fault that we both chose to do. And so what else are you hiding from me? Like what other not vendettas, like grudges are you holding against me? But and I think that was really juicy the way we did it, because it meant that because we found out eventually that it just wasn't actually really Rafi's, like, wasn't fully him, we could like walk it back a little, which I think is the best way to do a lot of conflict like that in D&D, where you're like, oh, real life consequences to their relationship, and it's juicy and it works. And then you find out more information, and then you're like, oh, so we don't actually have to pretend, like, we don't have to play this breach of trust for a continued period of time. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, we could go back and Jude could have like understanding of like, okay, that wasn't actually like real.
Yeah.
And so it meant that we could have that like drama and like the juice of it, and then eventually be able to be like, okay, now we can go back to actually trusting each other and continue playing the way that we have.
Yeah. Not that it's inconsequential, but there's a way of mending it
Yes.
that makes sense
Yes.
and isn't
I mean,
feels cheap.
to me that's the key to inter-party conflict, because like when you do it carelessly it's really difficult to mend, but when you do it intentionally and like make it a part of the story that you could actually change or like do better with, you actually have a path forward, rather than just like, my character is mad at your character, blah, 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 blah. You know what I mean?
I like that a lot, actually. So it seems like you guys are trending towards sort of relationships and how those work. Speaking of relationships, what I want to know is, who are your top 3 favorite NPCs? And then we're going to move through the NPCs here. So we're going to go start off, and I'll ask these one at a time. Top 3 favorite NPC who had character development, most hated or favorite villain, and if you could play one of the NPCs in this campaign, who would it have been? So let's start off your top 3. Bam. Mel, I'm gonna just guess. Lefty.
Not necessarily.
Really?
Well, he's in the top 3, but he might not necessarily be my number 1, you know? I
For
would
sure.
put him at number 2.
Really? That shocks me. Okay.
Well,
Subversive.
because it's not because I dislike him, but I just feel like
I get what you're saying.
the romance is important to me as a player, but it's not the most important thing.
Mm.
I would say I would put Lefty at number 2.
Okay.
Who's number 1? I'm putting Jakal at number 3.
Okay, that's
Wow.
That is a surprising pick that I'm
I
actually
like-
pleasantly
I
surprised.
just like, he was just one of the NPCs that you're like, wow, I actually can trust you. Like, you're actually not like trying to double time me. And I feel like he and Jude had like a good friendship, and there was also a lot of like situational comedy that he brought to the game, to the sessions, and so I liked that a lot about him.
I
Number
never thought of
1.
that.
Number 1, number 1, number 1. Honestly, I'm stuck between Ida and Nikita.
Wow.
Nikita's a good fucking choice.
Nikita is a good
I
choice.
love Nikita. I love, because she is like the, like, a trope, an archetype that I find a lot of enjoyment in reading in like book where she's like fierce and angry, but also like really like socially clumsy. And like, you know, it is such a valuable asset, but you talk to her sometimes and you're like, what? like the way, you know what I mean?
I know exactly
Like
what you mean.
I'm obsessed with that archetype. I love it so much. I love it when characters have like unbalanced charisma with like their other abilities and stuff. Um Ida, of course, like I think that like Jude's relationship with Ida and how um the Spirit World arc was one of my favorites in all of Sparrows because, well, also firstly because it was like fantastical and like sort of magical, and like it was also, I'm a big fan of the catabasis narrative, going into the underworld and coming back. Um and also like Sister Jude, like this particular facet of her identity is like really important to me. Um and getting to do both young like little kid Ida like scruff your hair and lecture you about running off into the woods by yourself, and also we're kind of adults and we like are sort of contemporaries in a way. um so getting to have those two aspects of that relationship, I think, was really important to me. So I feel like I'm gonna take a cop out answer and say that Nikita and Ida are tied for first.
That's a
Number
fair
2 is
answer.
Lefty, number 3 is Jamal.
You know, it is interesting you bring up Ida because he is pretty much the opposite of you with where he ended up. He is unable to come to
Mm,
the mortal realm, unable to see it.
we got locked.
So
We
you
got locked
are,
on either on opposite sides.
yeah,
Yeah,
which is just an interesting thing. So, something
which
to,
like is
oh yeah,
like that's how
just
it feels to me.
I'm really twisting that knife
Twisting the
with the
fucking
salt
knife.
on the wound, and I
Yeah.
coated the knife with lemon when it came. So,
Yes, exactly.
All
What
right.
about you, Adrian?
I was gonna say, who are your top three?
All right, let's start at number 3.
Lock in.
Let me lock in because there's a lot. I have probably 30 in my top 3. Um, this answer is definitely going to change in about 30 seconds. But before I change my mind, I'm going to say number 3 is probably old.
Say it.
Say it.
I just don't trust the fucking guy. um, he's. It's been a long time since we interacted with him because he, kind of died. But for me, it's more of a nostalgia thing of
Mhm.
having Old Man Wong be in the campaign at all and having him be such a crucial point for Rafi in terms of how he interacts with the world of like his prosthetic arm. It just feels right to have him in here, especially after where we came from with Tao Te. Number 2 is another tie
Okay.
between Silent Mary and Tala.
Mm.
Ooh.
Mhm.
Tala Tala is honestly tied for number 1 because I really value having unique ways to interact with NPCs, right? Not
Mhm.
just talking, not just their personality, but how can you communicate in a different way? And that's sign language, and having somebody who just can't speak or doesn't speak and doesn't hear. It's so interesting. It also develops my entire family from that little detail of her being deaf and how Rafi knows how to communicate with deaf people and how he can do so well in the underworld. And then when he gets to the spirit realm, he communicates with Ida's quote unquote son. I really value that, especially in the Witch's Coven.
Mm-hmm.
Don't you want to know what
Because
your
that was
sister sounds like?
yeah, no, that
That's
sucks.
that
That
was
sucks, dude.
crazy.
That sucks a lot, dude. I don't
That
know
was
if you
fucking
knew that,
crazy.
but I'm gonna inform you. Um, Silent Mary as well. I listen. I like to think of myself as a versatile player. I love to, experience different ways to play characters. But at the end of the day, a cool rogue, a kind of brooding rogue is kind of, kind of awesome. And him just being kind of slick. And when we built the underground of designing all these characters, I love the idea of that guy who does terrible things, but it's just a job. He doesn't really see anything in it. He's just like, yeah, well, this is what I chose to do, and this is what I'm gonna do. Number one. Once again, there's about 30 in the number one position, but it would honestly be one of the. I would pick one of the villains. I'm kind of in a toss up between any one of the sins. I do really like Chugi. Chugi's great. I don't know. I can't pick a number one. I just have characters of note. And honestly, if I had to pick a number one, it'd be Tala. Because
Mm.
it gives me so much.
Damn.
It just fulfills me so much that I can have somebody who's deaf. And then also it's just I don't have a little sister. I'm in a family of all, boys.
Mm-hmm.
So having that fun interaction of being like, yeah, sister time, be a little brat. Yeah, that's what I'm gonna say. I'll be right back.
Yeah,
Just so I gotta do something 1 minute, but I'll be right back. Have fun, folks. Give me a
we're
second.
having. So while Adrian's gone, let me go through my top 3 favorite characters that I've gotten to play. I will not be including villains in this list because that would make my choices way too freaking hard. So I'm gonna start at 3. Controversially, number 3, it's probably gotta be. Ooh, this is hard. This is very hard. Wow. Now I know what you guys feel like. Um, number 3 has to be Gen. Genichiro was one of my favorite characters to sort of be and just
Solid choice. All right, I'll be back.
He's lurking.
he's in the walls. No, but Gen was always my favorite character to like. His kit was my favorite. He was inspired off of a concept I wanted to play. The idea of just being a samurai that just, you know, slowly gets that build is great for me. And I think Genichiro has to be my 3rd favorite NPC to play. My 2nd favorite, he didn't come up much. But he is he's 2nd favorite because he didn't get a lot of screen time. Bakunawa. And let me explain. There's something interesting to me about getting to play this sort of otherworldly creature that doesn't really have a sense of morality. He doesn't care about ending the world or power. He's just a really big fucking sea dragon that
He
likes
just
eating the
really
moon.
wants to eat the moon.
Yeah. I remember
He just really wants to eat the
giving him
moon.
development was so fun because Adrian and I were talking and it was just like we were creating like technically it's headcanons, but it's real canon about Bakunawa. And it's like some nights on the full moon when Lefty gets restless, it's because Bakunawa's calling out to him similarly to how Tenny does to you, but instead of being like kill, 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 he's just samurai, the moon. I
must eat the
Yeah.
moon.
He's literally goldfish, and I love it. He's a giant fucking goldfish. And I just love the idea that it's like, you can't eat the moon because you are going to kill us all. Yes, but it.
I like
He's
the
also
idea
an
that like
all-powerful being.
I'm imagining like a circumstance where it's like Jude and Lefty in bed asleep, and they're both like tossing and turning, having a really hard time sleeping. And for Jude, it's because Tenny is like calling out to her and telling her to like fucking murder him and like kill all the people that she loves. And she's like, like like doing her best to like withstand, and Lefty is just like, oh my god, I'm not gonna let you eat the fucking moon.
You're dealing with the puppy dog of death, and he's dealing with an eldritch puppy dog trying to eat his treats.
Eldritch fucking goldfish.
Yeah, because he's an all powerful being.
He
Like
is.
the whole story of him in Filipino myth is that he ate minutes. Like this guy can just wreak havoc on the world just because he's hungry.
Yeah.
And that's all he wants to do. There's no malice behind it. He's just
He's
like,
just,
yeah,
man, I could
dude,
really
that shit
go for a
look, dude,
snack.
I'm not gonna lie, that shit's bussin'. Just samurai, big dog. You gotta let me do it.
You gotta let me at the moon, my guy.
just,
Like,
You just
I'll
just
give
give
you
me
a
the
piece
moon.
if you want it.
Just give me the moon. That's all I'm asking.
just think of it as an eternal crescent, big dog. Just let me at one, dude.
There's something so silly about someone like Lefty, like, not like just a guy, just some fucking guy being like the gatekeeper, protecting the moon from Bakunawa. like,
Essentially, I mean, the Blade's doing most of the work, but yes, him choosing not
Well,
to
right.
release him is like kind of the thing that keeps the world in balance. Just being like, God, if I release you, can I get a good night's sleep? Releases it. Ah, fuck, I'm dead.
Yeah, we're all done.
So, but that is also where what is it? One of the swordsmen, the swordsman of the water, gets his name from. He's the Lord of Seven Pearls. Seven Pearls were the seven
Mm.
original moons. They needed to seal Bakunawa before he took the seventh.
Mm.
Yes. Now,
Lord-
moving
Lord
Or
on
like,
to my absolute favorite. My absolute favorite NPC to play was Skibble. I loved the voice,
Yes.
I loved the personality, and the lore of Skibble is like my favorite. Like, it's my dream as a martial artist. It's my favorite thing for like a sort of uniqueness to him. He's not just another, fancy robot in a fantasy setting or a fancy golem or training dummy. He's a training dummy that was trained by bringing him around the country to fight masters of every single culture so he could learn and absorb and, replicate techniques. And that's why he's special. And you guys even picked up on that in the Envy fight where you were like, if Skibble dies, there will never be another Skibble. These techniques
yeah,
from thousands of years will be lost.
Can I go on a rant?
Go.
go on a rant.
I love Skibble. Um, I don't think I've ever felt more non-important attachment to a character. Like, he serves virtually no purpose in the story. He is a funny robot with a funny voice that trains NPCs we never see. And I just like, I don't know, I think it's something about the voice and his cadence when he speaks of having zero concern for his, like, zero concern of anything that's going on in the world. He's like, ah, yes, of course. I love him, and he was a shining light in an otherwise grim situation. And when he died, I truly have never felt more heartbroken. I'm glad he was okay. I loved the intro of him falling with the Star Metal Blade and then him grabbing it. I was so hyped. I was ready to fight anyone there.
I loved your reaction
Also,
last
a good
session.
callback about it. Like
Yeah.
a callback to the abilities of the Star Metal Blade of totally forgot you can swap places with it or like teleport to it.
Yep.
Oh
I
yeah.
knew you
Oh,
forgot that
shit.
in the moment where you were like, and I was like,
I
yep.
was like, is he just fast? No, he teleported. It's crazy.
Well, I mean, who did you leave Skibble with? Ikari, the maker of the Fallen
Yeah,
Star
you're
Metal
right.
Blade.
He's yeah, that's another thing too. Akari's also a great NPC. Because again, I do love expectation subversion. We've been running into gods who are very omnipotent and high and mighty, and then he's just kind of a bro.
Pretty
It's like,
much.
yeah, dude, it's awesome. It's great. I've been watching you.
Hmm.
Yeah.
And guess what? And guess what? Skibble's coming back.
Skibble's
And
coming
guess
back
what?
for the next
Skibble's coming
campaign.
back.
Wait,
And
Skibble's immortal.
also, Skibble's coming back, and
Skibble. Oh,
also,
Skibble is immortal.
he's my only immortal friend. He's coming back, and also he is probably actually going to be more important in the next in
Yeah.
Blossoms. So we'll actually get to like
Mm-hmm.
interact with him in a more like meaningful way, which I'm excited about.
Exactly. Which is gonna be good.
Stay tuned.
Stay tuned for Blossoms. But yeah, Skibble has to be one of my favorite NPCs, lore-wise, character-wise. Just, I liked playing Hikari for the same reasons I liked Bakunawa, so I'm gonna tie Hikari and Bakunawa for second place. Because Hikari's whole thing was just, I'm so, like, I love watching your story. Hikari was my exact self-insert. I was like, oh, I love watching these guys. I gotta tell them how awesome they are in character now. And I liked the sort of orange and blue morality that he has, where he doesn't tell you to keep going, but he just goes, your story. Like, do you want it to end? You know? Or the fact that he had a follower that you ended up fighting. And he bore no anger towards you. He was like, I support those that pray to me. I'm a god. That's what I'm supposed to do. But moving on from my favorite NPCs, let's go down to this one. Who is your favorite? Because we went over NPCs enough. Let's go to villains. Who is your least favorite, like most hated or favorite villain? You know? Like, you can do a top 3 or you can give me a number 1. I can see it, Adrian, go.
Oh, I've been waiting for this fucking question.
I've been fucking waiting for this one.
Yeah, Sorrow Breather.
Yeah, fuck you, Sorrow Breather. Go fuck yourself.
I was a young lad. That did irreparable damage to my character. Because, like, in an anime or something, or like in a different story, Rafi would have been like, "Oh, there's other breathers out there. I need to learn more." No, Rafi was just upset. Like, who the fuck is this guy? Oh, I'm sad. Let me just steal all of my shit, right? Yeah. Also, very cool that he ended up fighting Lefty in the Infinity Castle.
And they knew each other.
Yeah, exactly. So
Lefty was originally a
what?
Suzume samurai, if you remember. He went rogue.
Yeah.
Sorrow Breather was an elite Suzume medic. So, there's lots of callbacks and lore drops and even Easter eggs in these things. I write everything down, as you guys can clearly see from the 135-page document. Speaking of Sorrow
Can we
Breather,
pivot?
though. Oh, yeah.
Oh, never mind. Keep going.
I was going to say, speaking
keep
of
going
Sorrow
and then
Breather,
I'll do some.
the notes on him, Adrian got to read it last night and he got to reconfirm this. Under his notes, it literally just says, hold on, let me find this for him.
No, it's 3 words, Vito. You know what it is.
Make Rafi cry.
There it is, yeah.
And then the other one I liked was
Insane.
just under Lefty for his first thing. It just says, Dick.
Dick. And guess what? I still married him.
Yeah. Oh, how far we've fallen.
Oh, how far? Is Sorrow Breather your number 1, or is that a part of a top 3?
No, that's out of principle.
Nice.
He is number 1. He's been number 1.
My
Do you see how
number
he's
one-
shitting bricks when he showed up in the underground?
Yeah.
You want to shift gears to that, or what are you shifting gears, Rafi?
I wanted to shift gears just to focus more on our final session.
Yeah,
of
absolutely.
just there's a lot to unravel. We did some of it last night, but I just want to talk about it more because I can't get enough of it. The the original Ichimoji twins, that fight was nuts.
That was fucking insane. Yeah.
Yeah.
It truly felt like anime.
It did. It really did.
I'm glad.
We like
It's a,
and we locked in.
You
we
did.
did.
You very much did. And I was very proud.
Yeah,
I
there's
was
a
like,
few
"Damn."
lessons. Yeah, the whole time I was kind of like thinking in my head, this is so cool because I mean, Jude and Rafi are basically like brother and sister, and then here's like the perfect brother and sister who literally share a soul. It's like if we can beat them, we're kind of like family. Like this is
Yeah.
perfect.
Absolutely.
We did learn a few lessons from that combat. Of sometimes we just need to lock in and kill one of them,
Yeah.
and also Mel should turn on her Discord notifications when we get into sessions. Because I was spitting mad plans, Vito.
You were.
I was
You
like, yeah,
were.
let's bait for this. Let's anticipate this. How much HP you want? And I'm like, Mel check DM, Mel check DM. Just don't die, please.
It's the ADHD lack of object permanence. Like
You know
if
what you
I
should
don't
do?
have a notification for it, it doesn't exist. It's
Hear
not
me
real.
out. Triple monitor setup for Mel. One has Discord open, one has Owlbear, one has Subway Surfers.
It's great.
So
And
she
you
can
want to know
actually
what's
log.
insane? You want to know what's insane?
You just
Sponsored
have
by
to.
Block Blast. No, we're not.
I do this during session too, and it helps me stay focused.
If it works, it works.
Yeah. I mean, what
Honestly.
I do is I roll dice. I roll dice and I also just read my sheet over and over again.
Mm.
Help me
I
stay
mean,
locked
that's
in.
certainly the more productive way to stay focused.
I mean, that's why I know my sheet so well. It's because I
Yeah.
literally just read it.
Pretty
Like,
much.
even if I'm bored in class, I'll read my sheet.
Yeah.
I'll be like, damn, that would actually work really well in this specific situation. That'll never happen.
Yeah, never again. Sorry.
But
And then also, I'm gonna just keep talking from my perspective as a player and Rafi's during this whole fight in the final session. He's been left out a lot. Like, I mean, he's always doing support. He tries his best to learn team tactics and abilities, and sometimes he just gets, the rug pulled from under him, and it's like, okay, I guess Jude can do that. Let's keep going.
yeah,
I didn't know about the duplicity.
I, to be honest, didn't know about it either. And then Vito sent it to me, like randomly, and I don't think I actually read it all the way through. And then he messaged me, and he was like, "Don't forget this thing that you have." And I was like, "This thing that I have," and then I was like
Yeah, we would have
figuring it out
died.
on the fly.
That fight was tough, and that was only like the cannon fodder.
Yeah,
Yeah. That was
dude,
the pre-phase
regression
one.
that was key. That
Oh,
was
yeah.
key in that fight. Like
Quadruple 4th level heal.
Yeah.
twice, like insane. Like it was just it was just a really good mechanic. It was
Locking it, throwing my karambit in the air. I was like, oh,
yes,
dude, she's definitely gonna get hit by this.
Yeah.
like
Shrouding
it just
leaves.
it was such a cool combat, and it gave us so many opportunities to like figure shit out on the fly and like have it
I
feel
think
really cool.
I think that was our actual test of how well can we work as a team of two.
Yeah.
Because that was a tough battle.
It was hard.
I would agree.
The regression healing was major though, because I think I was down to like 20 something hit points at some point, and then we hit the fucking quadruple level or whatever. I think you gave me a couple of like second level healing slots.
I
or
think I
whatever.
healed you for thirds, not fourths. Still intense.
I think it was seconds, not thirds, because you were running out of third level third level slots.
No. I think I gave you a second because that was before we used regression.
Oh yes, yes,
And
I
then I
recall.
started loading it up
I
because I knew
recall
we
now.
had it.
Yes.
Yeah.
It was definitely like, I think one thing would have been, I think like one thing I wish had happened was getting to explore duplicity in previous fights, because I think like Rafi being in on that
I think so.
would have like, it would have like, the synergy would have
Yes.
been like crazy, because that's where a lot of our synergy comes from, is like knowing each other's kids
Yes.
and like knowing what we can do.
That was a possible ball that I dropped, but also looking back, for the fights that you would have had it, or it would have made sense for you to know about duplicity, you weren't fighting spirit-based enemies with spirit techniques.
Yeah.
So duplicity really wouldn't have done much for you. And the fights
Yeah,
where you were
that
fighting
makes sense.
spirit-based ones, not to defend myself too much, but that was a slight
Oh,
ball
let's
drop
be
on my
clear.
part.
Let's be clear. There's no need. You're not. I'm not like levying accusations at you. You know, like I'm not asking you to like defend yourself. It's just something that I think could have like altered the way that the fight went.
I think
But
so.
the fight went amazing. So
Fair.
I'm really
That was
being like
that
greedy
was
about it
probably
when
the
I say
most
that.
fun I had since Greed.
Yeah.
I'm glad. Because I was about to ask, because you always talk about how the mechanics of greed is what you compare everything to. So I was going to ask how that ranks next to greed.
Can you remind me about that?
Greed fight.
Yeah, what were the
So we fought in Amosa. He pulled with Sorcerai who could travel. I ended up riding one out of the void.
Oh.
So it was more team tech because when we had three,
Mhm.
I compare our team play against like a classic boss fight with a phase 2. Everything compares to that, in my opinion. Everything must be that's the bar that we need to hit. Speaking of phase 2s, Vito, you don't hide your inspiration well.
Whatever do
We
you
see
Because
mean?
as
you.
soon as I saw him pop up, right? And as soon as you started chanting your bullshit, I was like, oh, okay. Let me guess. He adapts, right? Maharaga. And then I see you start typing your little bullshit in Owlbear. Oh, immune to slashing. Alright, fuck you too, I guess.
That was another thing I
Asshole.
think
And he
that
was
was
fighting someone
crazy,
with
but it
special
also gave
eyes.
us an opportunity. Oh, fuck
Yeah.
you. It also gave us an opportunity to like be like, it was another tag team opportunity to be like, okay, you hit him with this kind of damage and I hit him with that kind of damage, and we can like still set each other up.
Yes. Which you did end that phase early by taking over his contract as well. Because Tenny wasn't
Yeah,
going to let
clutch,
you use that
honestly.
shit. He was going to be like, oh, she's going to try and use the contract. He just went, fuck this. Ancient,
Yeah, and
ancient
then we get into
Yumigawan, like, spirit summon, like, the greatest spirit summon he possibly could have had, and he just go, I don't want anyone else using it. Just to be
Yeah.
a dick.
and tactically it makes sense too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. If I mean, if
And
you have
then
the
the
power to.
mirror realm.
Crazy.
If we had a morale stat, it'd be like -20.
Yeah.
Because we were
Not
just seeing
even
all our homies get slammed.
like, not even, it wasn't even a fight. It was like, just watch. Just watch.
Yeah, Vito's like, we interrupt this program to bring you grief.
Trauma. The musical.
having fun yet? Well, you're not gonna have it now.
Not anymore.
Not anymore. Here's a montage of everyone you love getting slashed and burned.
Get to watch fucking. Oh my god, yeah. Well, here the thing is, for me, I feel like that. Well, first of all, that was crazy, and I really enjoyed it. I thought that it was like a really good. It was a power play for Tenny for sure to be like, not only can you not hit me, but also it's like holding someone's eyes open and like forcing them to like take fucking psychic damage like watching whatever you're doing.
Yeah.
But I also felt like that was one of the poignant moments during the battle of I always one of my things about battle with Jude and Rafi is I like the things that have the things that like stick out to me the most are the moments of like connection and roleplay between them during battles. Obviously, because I'm not really like I wouldn't call myself a tactician. A lot of my motivation for decision making in D&D comes from like story related stuff. And so those moments always stick out to me. So the moment of like Rafi being like, "Get your shit together," Jude like freaking out and like pounding on the glass, and
Can
Rafi
you
like,
lock the
"Can you lock the fuck in?" Um, that was a very poignant moment for me, at least in like when I'm looking back on the battle.
I think for me, it was in the moment. I mean, it felt right to do it, but also after, like immediately after, I felt like it was a good callback to fighting in the Haramos village
Yeah,
of her, like Jude losing her cool and kind of starting to lose, and Rafi just throws her into a ball and says, "Just calm down, like get your shit together."
yeah,
But instead of malice and like disappointment, it's more of like, "Hey, I need you right now." And then I lose my spirit
Parallels.
terrain.
yeah.
Yeah.
Fuck.
We glossed over that just a
But
little bit too quickly. Like, Jesus. Rafi gave
yeah,
up
I
a
mean, it
big
did help
portion.
us in the end though,
It did. But you gave
because
up a
with
big. Sorry.
the spirit terrain being embedded into the library, like the domain itself, my connective roots was just everywhere. So I could start doing random shit all across the battlefield, which I didn't end up doing because Tenny just killed both of us.
Yeah.
Hey, you know what? I'm taking over the conversation again.
Yeah, go for it. What's going on? What's going on,
Because you're
Adrian? What do you want to talk about?
you guys suck. Honest to God, this campaign's a lot of firsts, right? I've never actually believed in a TPK like this. Because I was like, oh, that's it. Like, we lost.
Straight up,
And
yeah.
I know Vito told me, like, you have to trust me. There's a lot of trust. I'm like, yeah, okay, yeah, for sure, I trust you. And I was like, Vito's just gonna give us a satisfying ending with us dying. That's fine. You know, let me build up what I'm gonna do in my head. And I start to see the scene play out. Jude's sipping tea in a forest with the harbinger of death about 5 feet away from her. It's like, oh, you ready to take my hand? And then we cut. I'm like, okay, it's my turn. And then we just cut to the realm of Jude's body being dragged away and me being thrown around. Come on. Blood seeping from underneath my best friend's body.
Yeah. That was crazy. That was crazy. Like, we when we were talking about this, there was like a little bit that got written out just as like, plot like points to hit that would like make it an impactful moment. But Vito, like, as I was listening, like added some shit that like I didn't write, and that completely like took it like, the like gore descriptions, the cup of tea being left out for wandering spirits. I didn't write that shit. He put that shit there. I was like, oh my god. It was definitely, again, I think another one of those things that I would have wanted to do. I loved it and I thought it was amazing. But I also think one of the things that I would want to do slightly differently would be to get you in on that a little bit more than we did.
I don't think so. I
Me?
liked his reaction.
Yeah.
I think having
No,
him
I
think
think it was
all was lost,
perfect.
it gave him the best reaction to it because
It's
there was
so fitting.
Yeah.
Rafi was done, dude. I was done. Like, I'm just the one that gets me the most in terms of description is hearing, like, we drop, right? And then hearing Vito describe what Tenny does of just dragging your body and your head bouncing along the tatami mat. I'm like, oh Jesus Christ. Like,
Yeah.
this is actually it. We're done. And the next thing you know, just Jude's behind him, fucking, Father, Son, Holy Spirit, and like just crucified behind Tenny, and then you just start chanting, and then you put your hand up, like, okay, I guess this shit was just under my nose the whole time.
Well, like Mel always
And
said,
then I heard
oh,
like
I love it. Sorry.
immortality,
Mhm.
and then, what? And then I was following the owlbear, and I saw tails start to be placed, and I'm like, what the hell? That's a cool token. And all hell just breaks loose. Continue.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. That's my rant.
So, I know Mel could probably go more in depth about this. I'd like to go back to what you said about the tea. I thought that was very fitting for your mother too. Like, where
Oh
you
yeah.
get your reverence from the spirits and all. She wasn't the one that could, access Hanaga for her abilities, but she's one of those individuals that just, she has that wisdom about the spirits. Like, she's
Oh
just
yeah.
so.
Like,
I thought that would be such a nice full circle moment of like, why do you always leave an extra cup of tea out? Well, it's for the spirits.
yeah.
And to place it right in front of you, I saw the tears and I was like, yes, I'm doing this right.
Yeah, it
Um,
was fucked up.
But the way you wrote that scene, your response to Konkiro, when he asked, what will you be able to do from beyond the grave? And your response of nothing
Well,
gets recontextualized with your revival, and I loved that.
we talked about this a couple times because when I wrote that scene, we were like on call. I was having a weird day. I was like it was not, I will admit I was not being my best. But I was like writing and trying to like be really intentional and specific about how to write that scene in such a way that like Konkira wouldn't know that something fishy was going on, and also that you, Adrian, wouldn't know that something fishy was going on. Like, and if you go back, if you read the thing that I wrote, or just if you recall the scene in the forest, like there are like kind of clues, especially in the conversation with Konkiro, that like something's gonna happen. And we kind of talked a little bit about like the specific wording of that question, because in my mind it was like, okay, what will you do from beyond the spirit realm? Two different meanings to that question. One, it's like a rhetorical, like you're in the spirit realm, you're separated, like what will you, like amusing kind of, like not really like it's rhetorical in the sense that it's like, okay, the answer is obviously no, like obviously nothing, like what will you do from beyond there? And then the other version of that question is like more literal, of like, okay, well, like, are you gonna try and meddle with like what is going on in the mortal realm, like, you know? And Jude's answer, nothing, could either be read as like surrender, like I will stop trying to interfere with things that are going on. I will like let go of the motivations that I had in life once I move on into the spirit realm. Or nothing, because I don't actually intend on going there. And so like the way that I was writing this was very specific, so that my goal, and I feel like we achieved it, my goal was that like encountering that or like watching that interaction you would have one sense of what's going on, and then once what's actually happening happens, then you're like, oh, like it's actually very different, and the signs were all there, and it makes sense.
Yeah.
That was something that I was very proud of when I was writing it out, because I was like, how do I be really specific and intentional about this?
So
really,
very
really-
masterful, honestly. It was
It was,
perfect.
I
Because
was
I
trying to.
didn't expect a thing, and once it hit, I was like, oh.
yeah. Well,
What the fuck?
when I thought of it too, I was out on a run the morning I texted Mel about this. I was like running, and I was like, I'm listening to songs and music about, like, just reminding me of sparrows. And I'm like, the word eighth sin Rafi is just running through my head. And there's a connection, and I'm like, well, what would the eighth sin technically be? And I'm going through, and I'm like, well, the first sin was eating of the apple, which was defiance of God. So I'm like, okay, let me twist this a little. Because, you know, just tweak it. So I'm like, okay, defiance of God would be defiance of the natural order. And I'm like, well, I did tell Mel if she gave up one of her eyes, she could possibly do something big last session. And she didn't give them up yet. So I was like, I'm seeing connection. And then I texted Mel, and it was until she was like, she didn't want to become immortal because she didn't think that's where Jude's arc would end. And that would make sense if it was just immortality. She's like, it's kind of coming out of left field. I'm like, I'm with you. But Jude's whole thing is defiance. She would essentially become the sin of defiance. Because in the original chant, the activation for any sinner's art starts with the words, sinner's art. And then you go into what it is. So, just... Mel, would you like to describe your, like, thought process in coming around to that idea? Or... Because there's more depth to that you have.
I mean, at first it I mean, kind of like you alluded to, like, my kind of like qualms with it were to do with like kind of coming out of left field, because I think, well, okay, this got resolved in conversation, because when you pitched it to me, in my head I was like, okay, how do I prompt this? You know what I mean? Like, Jude has never had any sense of wanting to be immortal, interacting with the idea of becoming immortal. Like, it hasn't come up anywhere. And so it would be really difficult for me to be like, go back into my memory and remember this thing, because it's like it didn't happen. And so my thought process was like, okay, if we like prompt something that like puts this information in her head, then it feels both like the stakes are higher and there's a reason to do it, and also that it like makes sense. So like the memory idea came after we were talking about it for a second. I was like, okay, maybe there's like a flashback memory that like teaches her this chant, and she hears it and is like, okay, this is something, like we are doomed, and this is something, and let me try it. And if it will save my friends and save everyone, who cares what happens to me? And so that was kind of the reason I came around to it, was because I was like, okay, now there's like a reason for it to exist, for it to be something that's possible. So that was more why I came around, and also because I think it's juicy. And also, like, Jude has, like, she has gone to drastic length for the people that she loves. Sometimes putting people, like innocent people, at risk for it. And I thought that, like, if she's not gonna have a happy ending where everyone survives, and it's just happily ever after, then, like, you know, in that situation, the impossible choice is like, I know that everyone is gonna die if I don't do something. And then being like, well, I have to do something because that's what I've always done. And I figured if she can't have that like happy ending, like fairy tale, whatever, lived happily ever after, then she is, if she knows that that's not possible, she's going to grasp at anything that will help those people survive for longer.
Perfect.
And I feel like that's pretty full circle for her
Yeah.
to like continue to choose that. Because, you know, for some people, I'm sure immortality, with people with more evil intention, immortality might be like, yes, I want to be immortal.
Yeah.
But that's actually terrifying. That's actually really scary, and we know that it's gonna be bad for her.
Oh yeah. Like
It's
I
gonna be
woke up
hard
this
for
morning
her.
and you made 3 headcanons already about Jude's immortality. And I'm walking into work reading all these and I'm like, God, please keep sending these. This will make my day far more interesting.
Well, because I was like, okay, she's immortal. Okay, I'm keeping this tree. Rafi, you're staying with me, bitch. You are not allowed to go away.
Tree.
You are staying here.
I do want to comment on that freaking little snippet that you sent. I was reading it and I was like, oh my god. I was genuinely shocked at how poetic it is. Because it's a sad sight, but it's also, I like the idea that Rafi's soul does indeed stay in the tree, and it's not just a sad woman talking to a tree. It's literally two friends having a conversation, just in a way that no one can understand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I I was
It's
thinking
so
like
sick.
the idea of okay, well, okay, this is a little bit tangential, but look, I was a classics major, okay, and so something that sticks that is a concept that sticks with me a lot is the way that current events become historical events, artifacts, things like that. Like paper and like a lot of objects made out of certain materials degrade very quickly. And so we can't ever really get a full scope of like what, you know, we can't get like the daily diary of a person in ancient Greece because unless it was accidentally preserved in a very specific way, like that paper is gone. It's degraded. It's, you know. But trees, olive trees, there are some extremely old olive trees in the Mediterranean. And those are obviously we interact with plants in a way that's like, you know, you can't read a plant, you know. You can't tell how old a tree is specifically without cutting it down and reading the rings inside. And so like I really enjoy the idea of like even as times change, even as we talked a little bit about like cyberpunk Emosa, eventually in the world of Yumagawa, eventually technology is created and like electricity and all these things and like the world is going to change and Jude is going to be around to see all of it. And you know, uh like I'm gonna do what I can to keep what I can around. Not only for my own sake, I want to be able to go hang out with my buddy who's a tree, but also for the sake of like people in the future getting to see it. You know, like getting to witness this like grand, majestic tree with roots that like spread farther than any other tree you've ever seen. Um, that I don't know. That's a little bit of a headcanon for me because of Rafi's like connective roots. Like to me, it makes sense that as a tree, you would have like really like sprawling roots that go really far.
I think so.
That the idea of like preserving him and like keeping him around was really intriguing to me. And so when this idea like came to me last night, I just like I was like right, I wrote it in my notes and I was like, hell yeah.
Yeah.
Um And I don't know, I just like the idea. I was thinking about it today. I'm like, does Jude participate in the preserving of history? Like, is she, knowing that she's immortal, is she going to start trying to like preserve things and like log things and like become someone who like, you know, she's the only person really that can do it. At this point in Yumagawan history, she's the only person that's going to see millennia in the future.
Yeah.
And so anyway, yeah, that was kind of my thought process. It's just like trees carry so much significance and they can live for so long if you take care of them, if the climate and the world is right. And I don't know, I like the idea of like some millennia in the future, some like it's like a national park or something and it's like this giant famous tree. And everyone's like, it's so old, it's thousands of years old, and it's still so pristine
There's
and
like
nice.
the branches are almost like getting to miles and miles of like canopy on this tree, and there's just thousands of little trinkets from different eras that literally no one knows about
Yeah.
because it's been forgotten at time. And then there's just that mysterious lady who tends to the tree.
I like the idea that there's like generations of family folklore that like your grandmother when she was your like great grandmother when she was a child used to see this woman with green hair coming to fix it, and then her great granddaughter is like, there's another woman with green hair, maybe they're like descendants of each other, rather than
So
like, no, it's the same bitch, it's the same
no,
girl.
that's just Jude. That's just
That's
Jude.
just Jude.
I
That
think
was
that's
a part of
beautiful.
if she becomes, because there's definitely a potential for Jude to go down a malevolent path with immortality, but if she were to go down a benevolent path, it would definitely be as like a member of, I think there would be a period of time, at least for some, whenever she's there to visit the tree, that I think she would probably want to try and like be an element of the community for the sake of Rafi, and for the sake of his family. um
That would make sense. I think the other pretty thing that Adrian mentioned before that I didn't even think about, Skibble is also technically immortal.
mm-hmm.
So,
You just got to keep him running.
pretty much. And he can run infinitely. So,
So he can come
he
hang out with
can
me.
accompany you for all of eternity as long as, he doesn't get destroyed again.
That's crazy to think about because that means the whole party technically gets to stay together. Right? Alcoy in the Star Metal Blade, Rafi is the tree, and Jude is Jude. All three of them eventually end up at the same spot
Yeah.
over and over again.
Yeah.
Wild.
And I don't know if I've talked to you about this, Mal, but I know Aya's father died on that trip with Skibble.
Yeah, you mentioned it to me, yeah.
Skibble has the ability to Baymax you. So I'm going to explain what that means. If anyone has ever seen the movie Big Hero 6, there's the scene,
Mm-hmm.
Tadashi is
I
here.
love Baymax.
Tadashi is here, and he plays recordings that he has of all of his interactions with Tadashi. Which
That's
means
not what I
when
thought you
Jude
meant
is,
when you said he's gonna Baymax her. That's crazy.
which means when Jude is getting lonely, Skibble could play a voice clip from Rafi. Or from Lefty, or from
Oof.
Alcoy.
Anything that Rafi's ever said to Skibble is probably not great. It's like, would you like to hear a clip of Rafael Marquez? It's like, go fuck yourself, tin can. Just,
Well,
like,
isn't
oh, I
that
miss
where
my
the
friend.
joy is? You know, isn't that where the joy is?
I
The
love it.
silliness.
I think Rafi knowing he definitely knows a lot about Skibble in his years. I think he would record some voices in secret of just talking to Skibble. So There's probably one or two in there.
Oh, Genichiro's definitely done it as well, just because he knows that after his next 200 years, he's kind of out of here.
Yeah. How old is he in
He
regular
is,
years?
believe, 45.
Okay.
Because he was,
Is that like accelerated because he was in the spirit realm?
yeah,
Okay.
15 years past. Oh wait, no, not 45, sorry. Oh, okay, no, he's only like 37.
Okay.
Skibbles a Yumagawan Build-A-Bear.
True.
The
I don't know
real
why I was
canon.
cooking on that for so long. I'm sorry. Continue.
That's some
No,
avian
that's
Zaza
it's
shit
true.
right there, dog.
Yeah, that's true.
Oh my god, we have to do
Stumbling sparrows.
Stumbling
not
sparrow.
what's because to me
Sloppy
stumbling
sparrows.
sparrows is drinking.
Oh.
Where there has to be one where we're high.
Just
Floating
blasted out of our
sparrows.
minds.
Scattered
Like,
sparrows.
oh my
I don't
god,
know.
true. Floating sparrows is kind of awesome.
Oh my god, yeah, wait a minute, that kind of works. Just, and then, yeah.
Yeah.
You're like, dude, I want to eat the moon.
just
Just
5
Rafi
minutes
laying on
of
the ground.
silence of just us like that.
Genichiro's laying on his back, just sitting there going, man, I understand Baku now and now. That moon
Dude,
looks
I'm
tasty.
hungry as hell.
The moon looks so
Rafi
tasty.
would-
Maybe I can eat it before Bakunawa
I mean,
has it.
what's that thing about like marijuana and CBD being able to like treat arthritis and different things? You think I think
Yeah.
Rafi would get down on that
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Chronic
because
pain.
he's just constantly in pain now.
Oh
Yeah.
yes.
I
Chronic
did
pain.
add that little detail at the end of Rafi getting up a little quicker than usual because he's excited.
Yeah.
Probably gonna feel that later.
Exactly. Yeah.
And him rolling down a hill.
My
Yeah.
last words of the campaign were don't break a hip, old man.
Yeah.
Which is
And
silly because it's only
We're
been
so
5 years.
back.
I love that.
We're so back.
Speaking
gotta
of,
pee.
you rat fucks, by the way, you want to talk about rat fucks here? I wasn't expecting you guys to make the callback to Alcoy. You're sitting here talking about the Karai tournament. I haven't thought of this. I'm like, oh, that's cool. And then you like take a look at that dojo, and I'm like, wait, hold on. You fucks. Did you discuss that beforehand, or was that an on the spur thing?
No. That
That
was
was me.
Adrian, totally.
Oh my god. You rat fucks.
Gotta tie it in. Go
The way
do what you
you
gotta do,
ended
Mel. I
that.
don't want to hold you.
Oh,
I'll be right back. I'm
Yeah.
gonna go to the bathroom.
talk more in the future about that. So, I'll go back to the favorite villain thing because, you know, Mel's not here and we already brushed this and I didn't get to go over these for myself. My top 3 villains. Okay. Easily, number 3, Sasuru. He is my bottom rank of the 3. I love him. He's conniving. He's a piece of shit. I hate him so much. But it was kind of mentally exhaustive to play someone that was like always scheming, always plotting, always like 10 steps ahead of you. Just, yes, good. You know, it was like, oh god, fuck off, dude. My second favorite villain comes in the form of the Traveler. She opened up so many avenues and cultures that I could explore and sort of show off that you're not the only ones that travel the world. And I liked the Traveler for that reason. She is my second favorite villain, lore-wise, roleplay-wise, you know, maybe not mechanically fight-wise, but I thought she was an interesting kit to play with as a DM. And then my absolute favorite villain of all time was my favorite from Taute, was my favorite from everything. Okori. I loved playing, acting, DMing for, the mechanics of the fight, everything about Hokori lined up. His lore, his past, his present, his death, and just the way that Hokori is the flip side of the Hikari coin, and let me explain. Hikari and Hokori are the two sides of my DMing, my yin and my yang. Hikari is me as a roleplay DM, me sitting here going, you are creating a beautiful story. I love you. I think you're amazing. I love watching what you're unfolding. Hokori is like, yes, kick the shit out of me. Kick the shit out of me. Please kick the shit out of me. That's my combat DMing. It's me going, yes,
going.
keep going. Do the creative shit. Beat the fuck out of this guy. You know? And I got to say the quiet part out loud with both of them. And I loved playing him because just the reaction to just fuck, man. Just watching him spin around you and just and hearing I release my immortality. That has to be my favorite like voice line from the whole campaign. Like at least the ones that I gave. A single line, I release my immortality.
I do want to point
Yeah.
for. I want to go for my villain next. If you're gonna finish your thought.
I just loved Hokori, and I can't wait to play his younger version and watch his downfall in real time, because as weird as it sounds, I've said it before to you guys, but I'm saying it here. Hokori, in the age that you guys are going to be going to, is like a mix between Alkoi and Shugi in the way he like presents himself. Very bubbly, very excited about everybody else, and just wanting everybody to be better. But
What a nice guy. I bet nothing ever bad is gonna happen to him.
Yeah. Yeah, I bet he's never gonna become evil.
I want to give a quick.
I bet he's never gonna to fucking kill me and us and
alright,
make
Adrian,
me be immortal.
your favorite what?
My favorite villain. It's a general. I'm gonna start it here. As a whole, my favorite villains have been the Inquisitors.
Ooh.
And my favorite Inquisitor
I think I know.
is the Bloody Lion.
Yeah.
Damn right.
And now Chris is gonna join.
Is he?
No.
Got excited.
I don't like. I've done PvP in the past. I've run PvP. I've played some PvP. That's probably the best PvP I've ever had because it was just so. It was flowed so well because we built. Here's the thing about PvP, right? Player versus player eventually comes down. Usually, like 99% of other players is who can play their character better. It's kind of an ego fest, you know what I mean?
Yes.
With a lot of other players, but with Chris and me, we both know that this fight is supposed to serve a purpose, whatever happens, and we just gotta make it good. Like the kit and having to fight somebody who built a character from another story and brought it here to fight. It's like, God, it was so freaking good.
Agreed. It was
yeah, that
really
is.
well done.
I am a very big proponent of like PvP bad, blah 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 blah, like unless certain circumstance. And that goes back to the whole thing about this being the whole campaign of sin, the cardinal sin of like to the death PvP. We touched on that too, and we did it well. He came into that fight knowing he was supposed to die. He's like, alright, well, if I'm gonna die, I'm gonna make a fucking spectacle of it. And might I say, his voices, his voice acting.
God, you should get a VA.
He should. But just.
And then, me, dude, the bone blade, the smoking gun.
Oh my god, yeah.
Yeah. Chekhov's gun.
You can't leave me in here. And yes, we fucking can. And
the
yes, we
delivery
will.
of that was just so. It was so like desperate and visceral, and I loved that.
It was like a thrashing animal. Like it
Yeah.
really, it was like, oh, you have been pulling absolutely zero stops, and you're realizing now that it wasn't enough.
Exactly.
That was my Maharaga moment
Yeah,
of just like, all right, fuck it, I'm gonna die. I might as well take you down.
pretty much.
Here you go.
Maharaga.
Here's God. Just
Oh my god. Yeah. I love that so much.
I hate to do this.
I know what you're about to.
I've
Yes.
been up since 5 in the morning.
Yeah.
I'm with you.
We can I can stay up a few more minutes, but I'd love to close soon.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay.
Why
But
don't we answer
any
like why
questions?
don't we answer like one more question and then we can wrap up?
I'm with that.
Yeah. Let's think of a good one.
Hmm.
Oh, okay. Moving forward.
I have a question.
Oh, yes.
Ooh.
Um, I have been stuck in the headcanon weeds all day today, thinking about like what happens after where we ended off. Do you have a favorite or like more a favorite headcanon or something that you have been? Do any of you have any like favorite headcanons about characters post Hawk? Um, where we left off for Sparrows that you were thinking about today or have been thinking about?
I have a few. I want to see if Vito has any.
I do. I think my favorite headcanon is probably far off in the future, the one we discussed today. I wasn't imagining it all day because we just came up with it, and it's my new favorite headcanon. The idea that the party ends up together in one way or another through eternity, having the fallen star metal blade, having Skibble be able to, like, recall voice lines from each of them, having Rafi as a literal living tree, and having Jude tend to him for all of eternity. It's just, I think that is the most beautiful, poetic thing for an immortal Jude to have, and I think my other second favorite headcanon is probably the one that, as weird as it sounds, Jude's apprentice, Rafi's son, and Alcoy's star student become a party and go on adventures again. I think that is
That's
my absolute favorite new age headcanon, that there's just a new age of
yeah.
sorcerer that just view the old party as these like mythical people, and just, the story gets told over and over and over again, and you live on through them. Jude becomes the new Ida, or Kaida, where she's kind of just
Oh yeah.
sitting there for the next generation, just being like, yes, this is what happens, and this, and this, and this.
Yeah.
Which, oh my god, that's the other sad headcanon. Or not headcanon, sad real canon. She can never communicate with Kaide again. Alright, Adrian, your turn.
That's really fucked up.
I just thought of something. I'm gonna answer Jude. Jude. Wow. Jesus Christ, I
Hey.
missed this kid.
Hey, you know what? It's okay.
Lock in. Anyway, I'm gonna answer Mel's question first, and then I'm gonna do one more thing. So, one of the headcanons I've been thinking of post Sparrows is that Rafi, as much as he wants to, just can't see. So he's always wanted to just settle down and rest. But I think after everything that's happened, I don't think he can stay away from the adventure out of respect or out of missing Jude, missing memories, not missing the fight or anything. I think he just wants more than anything just to travel and make stupid jokes and live in a hotel, like a little tavern for 2 days, kind of thugging it out with Jude again, because everyone's doing so well, and it feels not wrong, but it feels alien.
Mm.
Like, I know I deserve this. I know I deserve to rest, but sometimes I just don't want to.
Yeah.
Another thing is, I always wonder what happened to the underground, because that shit's still kind of alive. That shit never goes away, and I wonder how Jude's gonna take care of it as Amosa, kind of gets bigger and more powerful, like Rye City. What's gonna happen to Amosa? Are there eventually going to be underground, people there? And I want to go over something real quick about alternate endings.
Mm-hmm.
So, me and me and Vito for a long time were discussing the end of Sparrows. I don't think you've ever known this, Mel, but we discussed, okay, what if we ended at Karai Castle? This is a long time ago. What if we ended at Karai Castle? Huge fight. We ended up victorious. Time skip, 5 or so years or whatever. Tenny's still alive somewhere. Like, he's always been a red, again, a smoking gun. And Rafi has kids. His kids start to grow up.
God, I remember this.
And then Tenny comes to visit Rafi and kill him in his own home. And Rafi never taught his kid forest breathing. Forest breathing is a dying art, and it dies with him. And as it's kind of like Alcoy and Jude were supposed to visit Rafi or start tracking down Tenny again, and then they were supposed to hit the deck at the port and see Rafi's house explode. Or like they meet up with Rafi. Rafi's kind of like, no, I don't want to fight anymore. I'm kind of doing my own thing. They start to leave Rubia, and then his house explodes. They look back, they start running. Rafi's dead. And all that's left is his kid, who doesn't know forest breathing. And then has to start learning lion breathing, because that's the only other part of his blood. And then he eventually goes to the spirit realm, where he meets Echo and learns lion breathing from Echo. And then, yada yada yada, whatever, how many years during the campaign, Jude, Alcoy, and Rafi's son are fighting Tenny, and Tenny summons a contract, and it's Rafi.
Oh my god.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it would be all his move sets, everything, just
Beef.
as a contracted soul.
Oh my god.
And I like
would
that.
be
What's
that was like
the
my
contract?
plan for.
What was the contract? Like, what did he exchange?
Probably his son's life.
Oh my god. Yeah.
Well, the wording would have been,
Because like I was
since
planning on
you're not gonna have it happen, the wording would have been, Sasuru will not harm your son directly. Which means he would have made you fight your own son.
Yeah, like I was planning it in my head of like the situation of Tenny shows up to the house and is like, you've always been a thorn in my side, but you've been the easiest to find. And Ruffy, like, he's just done with fighting. All his shit is like stuffed away somewhere. And just like roots start forming from underneath his feet, and just a huge like 30-second fight happens. He gets clapped. And Jude and Alcoy start cleaning up the mess, and they start scavenging the ruins and see his son. I don't know, it was always just that thing of, what if we did do a part 2
Yeah.
with the original party?
Yeah.
That was my headcanon alternate ending of what if that happened, but I'm honestly much happier with how it ended.
I am
Me as
too.
well.
I
Holy
liked
shit.
that ending. It was cool. When Alex was here too, I thought that was a good ending. And then he left, and I was like, well, I want to tie up this Tenny arc, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I also ended up seeing Demon Slayer. And got really excited,
Jujutsu
and I was
Kaisen.
like, all right, you know what? I'm gonna add my favorite little entrance into a final boss arena ever, and I've been planning that entrance pretty much since I saw that episode.
Oh, we can't forget you showing me the battle map and being like, "Oh yeah, I was just kind of like messing around with this."
I have a
I
habit of
believed
doing
you.
that to you guys sometimes. Like, I remember I said something to Mal about, like, yeah, no, like, I'm gonna say this as skill in a campaign for, like, a potential, not death, but, you know, like a goodbye, sort of. And it was the whole, like, hello? Not too bad for a tin can.
Yeah,
Heartbreak.
absolutely
Heartbreaking.
heartbreaking. Yeah.
Worse than the ending.
Yeah. But I'm gonna leave you guys off with this because it is finales and phoenixes. So first off, the next campaign is going to have something to do, or the name is going to be something with phoenixes.
Mm.
More fantastical, still with the bird theme, and phoenixes burn to ashes. So it's going to be the later stages of the phoenix at the end of the campaign, where you're going to burn to ash. A lot of the sorcerer have tragic endings. Hokori is one of them. I mean, Aya, you're literally playing Rohai, which is a sin. You know, the Ichimonji twins go dark. So a lot of them go dark. And that's something I'm very excited to explore myself. The sort of downfall and what could have happened if Sparrows went bad. However, I want to ask the two of you, because Phoenix is, you know, it's about new beginnings, and this next campaign is a new beginning for us, from the ashes of Sparrows. What are you two most excited for in this next campaign? What are you looking forward to? What are we ready for?
I'm ready to play a scheming little scoundrel. I'm done with the hero shit.
Yeah.
I'm done being high and mighty and worrying about family. It's time to lock in, start making bank.
I'm excited for I'm excited to play a character who is like the who is like the Nikita brand of like really physically powerful but really socially not very adept. um and also like to do the like character exploration of like reconciling self-worth with self-image and like public image. And there are just I don't know, there are just a lot of like fun little nuances to Aya that I'm really excited to like
Also
dig
playing
into.
kind of younger, more naive characters.
Yeah, because you guys are
Definitely.
starting
Yeah.
like 16, 17, 18, basically.
I'm also excited that and this makes me happy because I feel like we've done the like so to say Jaffe. Rude oh my god. Jude and Rafi like did the like we don't really know each other and now we're like getting closer as friends. But now we get to start this next campaign with our characters just like kind of being buddies. Except I know that it's not going to be the same. I know that Roja is going to be like a scheming little like not necessarily a good friend to
He's the
Aya.
social
But
parasite. I love it.
I'm excited to see how that goes.
I love
Also, quick side
it.
note,
Mhm.
um, platonic ship name Rude and Jaffe.
I love that so much.
And that's beautiful.
Ah.
Rude.
Mm. Speaking
Jaffe.
of rude, oh man. But yeah. Sparrows has been a long journey. Think you guys want me to close this one out for Tavern Talks?
I guess so.
Alright. Sparrows has
Hold on,
been a
wait,
oh
wait, 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 wait,
we're-
wait. Wait, 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 wait. I can't let it end.
Don't
Um,
worry, we'll still reference
can we
it.
can we real quick?
Yeah,
Can all three of us do a little
go for it.
Yeah,
mini speech at the end? All right.
yeah.
I did one last night, but I'll do an official one. As we're closing out this tavern talk on my end, this has been the most fun ever in D&D. That's because of you two. It's been truly the best experience, and it actually really has changed my outlook on a lot of things, including life itself. Um, I'm a better player. I think I'm a better person from playing this campaign. I'm a lot more creative. I'm a lot more patient, surprisingly, and I look forward to a lot more. Honestly, mainly playing again, but also I just kind of look forward to continuing to be friends through this silly game that I met Mel through and that I got closer to Vito through. So, yeah, listen, the Sparrows might have taken off. We're on a journey somewhere else, but we're gonna land again and it's gonna be a fucking experience once again.
Couldn't agree more, Mel.
Oh gosh. Um, I have a hard time conceptualizing the amount of time that it's been. Mostly because I don't know, we've been playing so consistently and it's always been something, Sparrows has always been something to look forward to. Like, it's like when you're a little kid and you're like, summer vacation, I'm gonna go swimming and go to camp. It's like, oh, summer vacation, it's time to play Sparrows again. Um, it's really something that I have thought thought a lot about and gotten a lot of fulfillment and like creative inspiration from just getting back into like music in a way that I never have before and learning how to like unpack a character. I truly think I did a lot of theater stuff in my last semester of college and I really think a lot of my stuff with that like came from my experiences with sparrows. Um and I don't know, it's just it's always been something to look forward to and to talk about and to send like a stupid little brain rot message in general and have both of you like in the weeds with me. That has really meant a lot. Um and I'm really excited to like keep playing more stuff and to just like continue. I'm really gonna miss Rafi and I'm really gonna miss Jude and all of these characters, but I'm excited to like eventually develop connections that are maybe different but just as strong with whatever new characters we pick up. And I love you guys a lot, and I'm sad that it's over, but I'm excited for what's coming next.
At the end of the day, I don't think there's gonna be a better connection than Rude and Jaffe.
True. True,
I'm with you
exactly.
both on
Yes.
that one.
This is what I'm saying.
Sparrows for me, that little slideshow at the end of the session was just a glimpse into what Sparrows has done for me. Sparrows, the story, the mechanics, it's made me a better person, a better DM. It's given me a place to pour emotion and creativity into, and every aspect of my DMing since the start of Sparrows has been for Sparrows. Every one shot I have ran has been some form of Sparrow's inspiration for a story beat or a new setting with the original running of Rubia, or even just character testing, mechanics. Everything I have done and everything up until this point has been for Sparrows. It has truly bore fruits greater than the labor, because the labor is the sum of its parts, not just the sum of my work, but the sum of both of your works. And I think it is the most beautiful game story that I have ever been able to be a part of up until this point, and I look forward to not recreating, but experiencing more with both of you. Alright, everybody, that has been Tavern Talk finales and phoenixes. I'm Vito, that's Adrian, and this is Mel. And this is Good Night. Final question for y'all. Leave it down in the comments or whatever you got. Next Barrow session, when?
Shut the